Good morning, everybody. Welcome to CSL Visalia. So hopefully you enjoyed that welcoming song. We're glad that you're here, and we are waiting for Reverend Jack to come online.
Good morning, everyone. I am so glad that you are here, and I am so glad that we are rolling with the technology of the day. I know that there are many places that you could be on a Sunday morning, and I am just touched at the bottom of my heart that in appreciation that you chose to be with us, whether you are online or whether you are in the sanctuary. I am so thankful that you decided to spend some time with us. Hang on, it's going to be a day. We are going to talk about the bullies in our life today. So, with that, I'm going to turn it over for the announcements so that you can hear what else is happening at CSL Visalia.
Okay, well, there's no bully here, okay? I'm not a bully, never been a bully, and I don't like bullies. I am. All right. Okay, my dear loved ones here, we have announcements, and we're going to get ready to go. We still have the non-perishables, and it's still stacking up. Bev is in charge of that, so please, let's all remember. I brought food today, but it is perishable, so please eat afterwards. Okay. We have fall study guides. These are the books that the fall study guides are coming from, and I know that they're in the works to get them in the building, or and if they're not, you just go ahead and get them online. Right, Gwen? Yes, and there's some kind of special bookmark that we're going to do that we're waiting for, and it's going to, just help with the sovereignty of our books and all of that, and you can help donate to the books. Okay, next slide. International Peace Day. All right, well, we were hoping that, James, were you able to? Okay. So we have a little video, little thing going, and James is, there it goes. Okay, there's Tino. It's gonna run, right? There we go. Buddy, Donna. Yeah, there is sound to it. Imagine. Yeah. Well, it's very nice, and you can just see some of the folks that did come and grace us with their prayers and their thoughts about peace, and we started it off with Tino. So thank you, Tino, for sharing that, and we have it in our archive, and maybe we can get the sound next time, okay? All right, new class, the Essential Ernest Holmes. It's a foundational class. It's a love offering. It starts 8 Tuesday, September 23rd. Started last Tuesday. I put it in red down here. We had a little bit of a problem. You're supposed to go and register first, okay? So that's down there in red, heartsoulcenter.org/ you can see it there, okay? And you can, if you need some help, call the office Monday through Wednesday, and we'll get you up to speed. Simon's here, call in the morning, and we'll get you on there if you need some help, okay? All right, next, 40th anniversary, spiritual leader of Reverend Jack Elliott, and that's a long career, 40 years, and we're gonna help him celebrate it right here at CSL Visalia. Okay, and we're excited, and we're going to have a lot of people here. And the next slide is going to tell we have to do a craft night this Wednesday. I was going to go see a friend, but no, I can't do it. I'm going to stay here. We need to do a craft night, and I want to see at least 5 people out of this group. Okay, Wednesday night, I'm not going to go to the coast. I'm going to stay here. I want to see 5 people in CSL. Can I talk any louder? We have a big old card to make for this man, and he will be able to cherish it for years to come, okay? We can put it up on his wall, and he'll remember 40 years of serving his loved ones as a minister. And new thought, okay? So we can go, yep, we did that. And now we're going to do the Marjorie Brandon. Okay, so we do have a winner. We know who the winner is, and that winner is Susan Burley. Now, I don't personally know her, but I'm sure Donna does. Okay, Carol knows her, but I've been a drama mama, and this is impressive, right? Honoring director of all things. Just love it. And we're going to honor her right here at CSL Visalia. Music, band, and theater, featuring a concert with some of Susan's encore kids. That'll be so much fun. We want to see this whole place filled up. And a special surprise with encore theater. I'm sure that they're going to do something really fantastic, okay? So they're doing it here. They're doing it for us. They're doing it for Visalia. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, thank you, Donna. Okay, so we've done this for, I don't know how many years, 20 years maybe. How many years? The dessert auction. It's okay. 5 or 6. Yeah, I'll keep going. We don't want to drag it out here, but we'll discuss that offline. But I know we've had dessert auctions for a long time, okay? So that's part of what's happening here is we'll honor Susan. She'll grace us with all of her talents, and $25. You can call Sima, or you can get online to do that. And there you go. I need to wind it up. Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to do the cake contest?
Yes, that's the dessert contest where everybody brings a really fancy, yummy dessert, and everybody has a table, and the table is like marked for, okay, if you get your number picked, then you got to run and get the dessert, okay? Well, don't hurt yourself, okay? But you got to walk fast. You got to get there because everybody wants a certain dessert. And we bid on the cake. Yes, people are helping me out here. I appreciate that. Okay, I love it. We're going to have a lot of good and fun community events, spiritual events. And I'm going to wrap it up because we got Jack, and Reverend Jack has a really good talk today. Remember, no bullies. Okay.
Thank you, Lori. I am not Reverend Jack. I'm Steve Kinchy, by the way. Member of what was formerly known as the Board of Directors, now not a leadership council. So we are going to read the mission statement. Now, you are free not to join us in talking at the same time, because I'll admit I'm one that sits out in the crowd and does not like to repeat what others are saying, so I always remain quiet. So, but I will be happy to lead this for us today. So please join us in reading the mission statement if that's your thing. Center for Spiritual Living Visalia is the place everyone comes together, connecting in love and learning how to create abundant, joyful, and peaceful lives. Now I give it off to Reverend Jack, I think. Wait a minute. We've got a song first. We come together.
We did Come On In.
Yes.
Same concept.
Is this a congregational song? No, this is just Hope and Dawn.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel your voice in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. There we go, hands together, here we go. Now feel your voice in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together, come together, come together, come together in the name of love. We come together, come together, come together, come together. We come together, come together in the name of love. For every walk of life, every creed and culture, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel your voice in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together, come together, come together, come together in the name of love. We come together, come together, we come together, come together, come together, come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, come together in the name of love.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Don, Hope, and Kevin. That was wonderful. All right, now our next reading. Are you ready for it? This is part of our what we believe statements. We've got 13 of them, so please join me if you want to. We believe that the kingdom of heaven is within us and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. All right, now we've got Tino. Are you ready, Tino, to go over our diversity quote for the day?
Thanks, Steve. Leos M. Chanyavu, Creator bless you and be with you. So we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And I think the first thing we need to do is just honor and thank and recognize all peoples. And in this month, the Hispanic and Latino individuals, groups, and organizations who have contributed to this nation and this world. It was a Mexican man from Mexico who invented color television. So if you enjoy color television, then we owe, that gratitude, to inventors like that. We also celebrate September 16th. And there's some confusion between the independences of Mexico. And most people don't realize that the Russian army occupied Mexico, but did not take it over. United States did take half of what was Mexico here in the Southwest. But the United States Army also occupied what we know as Mexico today, but it remains its own sovereign nation. So the French occupied and took over most of Mexico for 7 years. They ruled. So Cinco de Mayo is independence from France, whereas in the Spanish conquest, Spain ruled Mexico for 300 years. And it was a very brutal rule, much like what African Americans experienced in North America and Native Americans experienced in North America. We experienced the same things in Mexico. And if we didn't mine enough gold, they would chop off a miner's hand in public to say, mine more gold. If we didn't convert to Catholicism, we were strangled to death publicly, a death every day. And so just a lot of brutality. So in 1810, there was a rise up, the revolution, and so they fought for our independence, and men, women, children, everybody fighting, and overthrew the Spanish government. So that is September 16th celebrates the independence from a 300-year Spanish rule. One of the things, anytime I look at independence, it's always bittersweet. So my family and I, we're celebrating American independence less because, I'm not going to blow up fireworks. One, because of my dogs, it scares them. The other is our vets with PTSD. Thank you for your service. But the other is, how do I celebrate freedom when we still have kids in cages? I don't know if you're familiar with when Frederick Douglass was asked about the 4th of July, and he responded, "What's 4th of July to a slave?" So it was independence from England, who really, that war was, the king at the time said, you can go up to the Appalachians, but beyond that, that's native land. And so that's the reason. It wasn't about a 3-cent tax. It was so that the American government could exercise manifest destiny and go against the king's wishes. But anyhow, in that independence from Spain, I had, spoken last time, and anytime I get a chance to raise awareness to the kidnappings of our people that are happening right now. And, whatever we can do to pass fairer laws, when people, I'm being told, well, we're for you so long as you come the right way, do it legally, but we're getting arrested at our court date. So it's just a violation of, even that thought, where most people are for those, trying to do it the right way, still being arrested. So let us celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Let us celebrate each other. Do we have the quote? I did find a quote from, there it is. So we must use our lives to make the world a better place to live, not just acquire things. That is what we are put on this earth for. We must use our lives to make the world a better place to live, not just to acquire things. That is what we are put on the earth for. And that is Dolores Huerta. So Dolores Huerta is who championed the phrase, si se puede, yes, we can. She was the brainchild behind that slogan that, Obama borrowed and put it in English and won on that campaign. But I've met her, worked with her, marched with her. She remains alive and well and still fighting the good fight to this day and deserves just as much, if not more, recognition than Cesar Chavez. So with that, I say thank you. I've mentioned my Uncle Pete a couple of times, who's made my drums, and his passing away. Today, we are reopening a sweat lodge in his name. And we're doing that this morning. Our church is outside. So I'm going to say thank you and ask you very respectfully to excuse me because I'm headed there. So all my relations.
Thank you, Tino. All right, it's time for our congregational song. Please stand and sing with everybody else, I Start My Day.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't know about you, but as for me and my house, and I mean that literally, I feel inspired already today. We could almost call this good and done. Let's go out there in the world and do it. But no, I have a couple of things that I want to offer to the conversation. First, I want to say thank you to the music ministry. Thank you to the DEI folks who brought an amazing message today. And, I'm just appreciating all the good that surrounds us. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today is kind of like what we're hearing in the news. Because if ever there was a time in our history, in our life, to put it all together, this is that time. And I want to invite us to consider this idea. It's time for us to go back and be the original definition of the word bully. Now, I know that many of you, if you're anywhere close to my age, and I'm going to say 10 plus or minus 10 to kind of get in there, we have probably heard in school about President Teddy Roosevelt and his bully pulpit. Now, at the time, Teddy Roosevelt, when they used the term bully pulpit, bully did not mean what it means to us today. At that time, the bully pulpit was a place for progressives, liberals, new thought thinkers, wise folks looking at how the world got to be the way that it is, came together to banter about ideas of what could happen in the United States, in the world, what would be the highest, best of all concern. That's where the term bully pulpit came into being. Even if you can imagine the old tapes of Winston Churchill playing, you might often hear him go, bully, bully. And it was just that kind of call to action of stand up for what you believe in, stand up for what you know is right. But over the years, we have recategorized this term of bully. And what I want to invite us to think about today, even those bullies, that playground bully, that person that tried to shut you down, if you're willing to take a look at it, there was something even in that would lead to your emancipation, lead to you taking dominion over your life, where you could get to be the person that you are today. I was reminded earlier this week that, I started my human resource career at a company called QRS, Quick Response Services. They were the innovators of the barcode. So any garment you have from any retailer that has that little barcode on it, they were a part of the invention of that. They created the world's first electronic catalog of garments that we wear each and every day. Back in the early 90s, they took retail out of bankruptcy and gave them a second shot by having what was known as on-demand products and services to the customer. When I went to work for them, there were 35 employees, 35 of us getting together, thinking about how to launch this new thing. And I got to work for this amazing woman that was the president of the company. Her name was Tanya Amachayev. And she was the first woman executive in the technology community of her time. She was a forerunner, and she was amazing to work for. I also had a very progressive chief financial officer that I reported to, who came in, and his responsibility was to take this company public. So I was hired as the director of HR. Now, there was also a chairman of the board. This chairman of the board, I just want to say, could have been the professor that taught our current president how to master the term bully. He was a narcissist. He was a bully extraordinaire. Now, the good news is I didn't have to work with him. The good news is I just passed him kind of coming and going in the hallway because he was out and about inventing other things. But as I moved up in my career, as I grew this company from 35 employees to about 135 employees, handling recruitment, handling training and development, onboarding, bringing great skilled folks to the company, my stature raised into the company. And so we got a mandate from the chairman of the board that he wanted me to create an employee attitude survey. Come up with 100 questions where we could test the pulse of the people within the company to see what they thought about their jobs, what innovations they could bring, what ideas they had. Now, we could have gone out and bought somebody else's product, but his response was, no, that Elliott guy should be able to create this if he's any good at what he does. So I did my due diligence. I scanned all of my friends that worked for the American Society for Training and Development, and I came up with 100 great questions that we could ask these folks in this survey. And so we put the survey out, and after 1 week, we had about 51% compliance of people that answered the survey. And I thought, I want to know better than that. I want to do better than that. And I could see, because I sent it out via email, who hadn't even opened their email yet about the survey. So I did a soft sell. I would walk around. I was that guy that would go and visit customer services. I would go to the sales department. I would go over to R&D and check in. How you doing? Did you get that email yet? Boy, I'd love it if you would complete that survey. It would mean so much to us. So by the end of the next week, we truly were at 97% of the folks that had completed the survey. That is about 30% higher than any company ever got any response to anything. So again, my profile, how'd he do that thing? How'd he get there? Was raised another notch. So the president of the company, Tanya, came to me and she said, Jack, the board would like for you to come to the next board meeting and present the results of your survey. Great. I was excited about it. I read the comments. The people there loved their job. They brought insight and innovation to the company and had great ideas. And so I couldn't wait to go to this board meeting to share this idea. I had my PowerPoint slides ready. I was ready to go. So I get there, walk into the boardroom, and there's this huge granite marble conference table that seats about 30 people. And at one far end of it was this huge LED display screen. And of course, I walk in and I walk over to the table and put my hand on the back of a chair to pull it out to take a seat. And the woman that was the recording secretary looked up at me and go, oh, no. You'll want to take a seat over there along the wall. Oh, okay. So I went over and I sat down in the seat along the wall and was holding my laptop and the hard copies of my presentation and, like trying to balance it all. And the other board members came in and Tanya came in and the CFO came in and they talked about golf scores and they talked about NFL scores and they talked about the wine country and did you have that latest Merlot that was released by Sterling Vineyards, and no one said hello or no one looked at me or acknowledged me. And they sat down at the table and the chairman of the board at the end of the table looked at the recording secretary and looked at the agenda and said, oh, well, let's have Elliot go first so we can get him in and get him out. Well, that was a little jarring to me, but I thought, okay, great. And so I went to the foot of the table, stood before the screen, and I started into my presentation about how we had done the research, how we had partnered with the American Society for Training and Development, how we came up with, and he goes, Elliot, if I have to hear the history, then you've already failed. Just tell me the results. So I was stunned. And I thought, okay, what do I do? Well, the recording secretary kind of glanced at me and nodded and kind of threw her eyes to the board behind me. And I looked behind me, and she had already forwarded my slides to the 5th slide. And so I looked at that, and I took that cue, and I just went right from there. And I started to produce the results, to tell the stories about how over 70% of our employees were excited to be working for this company, and how in the last year, our turnover rate was less than 18%. That was phenomenal for the area at that time. Typical turnover was about 30%. And so I just touted that number, and again, I got this, Elliot, okay, Elliot, so what you're telling me is you're hanging on to bad people. And again, I was stunned, and I heard Spirit whisper, he's nothing but a playground bully. Treat him accordingly. And so I responded by saying, that was a good result. We have employees that like being here. That's essential to the success of a company. And he goes, no, you're telling me that you're hanging on to bad people. Tell me why you're hanging on to bad people and not getting rid of those that are not measuring up. And I said, that's simply not the truth. And I could almost feel the room kind of go, you know, when I was telling the chairman of the board that that was not the truth. And I said, the truth is, we've recruited the very best people for this company. And if you realize that the effort that we put in hiring the best, then you will know that that's the keystone to the success of the company. Yeah. Okay, what else? And so I went on and I talked about some of the innovative suggestions that people had made in this survey, you know, ideas of how to take the product that we developed to the next level and what might make it better. And when he saw that, again, I saw his face turn red. And he goes, why am I hearing about these ideas for the first time now from Elliot? And I realized that I really don't like hearing my last name as my name. And so it made me stand my ground even more in that conversation. And I responded and I looked at him because we made it safe for them to tell you these ideas for the first time. Oh, okay, fine. And he goes, okay, well, thank you for your time. And so I folded up my laptop and I took my little papers and I started to make my way out of the conference room. And then I heard him say, just a minute. Now, I thought he meant just a minute for me, but he was actually speaking to the recording person and said, get Gopi Sankara Subramani in here. He was the VP of R&D. He said, get him in here now. So I went on about my way and went to my office thinking, should I be putting my resume together now? You know, what was all of that about? You know, I was really dumbfounded about, you know, the bullying that went on in that session when I was only delivering good news. Well, about 30 minutes later, Gopi Sankara Subramanian came into my office and he said, what did you do to me? And I go, what do you mean, what did I do to you? He said, I got called on the carpet for not knowing all the good things my staff thought were good ideas that should be being brought to management. And I realized in that time, if I was to succeed in this company, I would have to have allies and advocates working on my behalf. I could not work in a silo. And so I made a pact with Gopi right at that moment in time that we would work together, and never would he be blindsided again if he would have my back and never blindside me again. So that created a valuable lesson for how to stand in our truth around a bully. And so we had that pact, and I made that pact with other managers within the company. And soon we had taken 150 employees to nearly 900 employees. The company grew, it truly thrived. I didn't lose my job. And in fact, about a year later, I'm sitting at my desk in my office, and the phone rings, and I look down, and it says the man's name, chairman of the board. And I thought, wow, would he have waited this long to fire me? But I took the call and I said, yeah, what's happening? He goes, hey, Jack, how you doing? I've got the vice president of Macy's West on the line and his HR director. And I was telling him about that terrific employee attitude survey that you created. And I want you to share it with them. And I said, okay, great. I'd be happy to do that. And I, starting to feel a little validated that he really did see the gift in the thing that I had created. And I said, I'll be happy to send it. He goes, no, 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 no. I want you to read the questions to him right now. His HR director is going to be recording them. And so for the next half hour, I read aloud all 100 questions on our survey. And Peter, I almost said his name, the chairman of the board, would correct a word here and there, make it a tweak, and at the end of the call saying, Jack, tell him about that wonderful idea that we came up with how we decided it was good to do a soft sell to the employees to get the highest number of participants in the survey. And at that point in time, I thought, wow, okay, what is for the highest and best here? What was for the highest and best was the survey was getting out there into the world to other people. And at the end of the call, the VP of Macy's West got off the phone, that HR director got off the phone, and Peter said, great. He said, now, what I want you to know, I'm going to send over a non-disclosure agreement for you to sign, because this document that we've created together, this company owns that now. That's our intellectual collateral. So, I need you to sign off on that. And I said, I'm happy to sign off on what we created today. Great, Jack. Good talking to you. See you soon. Hung up on him. The document came over, and I made sure that it recorded what we had created that day, because they edited it on the fly. They changed my questions that day. So that's what they owned. The original document, I continue to own. And I use the original employee attitude survey for hundreds of companies throughout the rest of my career as an HR consultant, and for other companies, for other startups, other companies that were downsizing. But the lesson that I learned in all of that is not to let the bully win. When Spirit whispers to us that it's a bully standing in the playground, we have to stand strong and own our bullyship, so to speak, in a good way. We've got to stand up for what we believe in. We've got to stand up for what we believe to be true. We've got to take dominion over our own life and go, not on our watch. Now, we are in a time and place in our democracy where we must be a bully for what is highest and best for our country. We must be a bully and say, not on my watch. You are not going to tell me what I can read. You are not going to tell me what I can watch. You are not going to tell me what I can say or believe or to say in the public square. We have to pay attention. Otherwise, the bullies are going to win. And the bullies are only being the way that they are because they can see that it's about to all go away. So we're going to be tested this week ahead. We are going to hear they sent the military into Portland, Oregon last night to end the chaos in Portland, Oregon. Guess what? There was no chaos in Portland, Oregon. When they showed the cameras, it was people kind of walking around going, what's going on? There wasn't even a protest going on in Portland, Oregon. But they wanted to be able to tell the story that they had to fix a problem that didn't exist. And so therefore, we're going to take some more rights away. We've got to be able to say, not on my watch. No, not as long as I have a breath within me will I ever be silent about this. We got to stand up. We got to write a letter. We got to make a phone call. We got to say something in the public square for what we believe to be true. We have to be discerning. We have to be bullish over what we see on social media, not to believe what isn't true or isn't validated. To be a skeptic, trust but verify. Get to the depths of it. Work snoops.com and find out the source of something. Just like today, you learned that the original definition of bully was not a bad thing. It was standing up for what is right. So do the research yourself so that you can understand what is yours to do. Take some action. Be ready to be the bully, to get into good trouble, to be an ally, an advocate, a co-conspirator for what you know to be the highest and best for all. It will pay off. It may be hard in the moment. It may be hard right now, but you're the one that's called to do it. If you're within the sound of my voice, you have something to say about it. And why do we do all this? Because we are bullies for love. We are bullies for compassion. We are bullies for empathy. We are bullies for this experience. Our reading today was the kingdom of within, the kingdom within. And our Let's Talk Science of Mind class, we translated that to the heaven within. Let's create that heaven within so it will manifest out there. Do it, stand up, speak up, and make a difference. You're ready for it. You have the backing. Go get into good trouble. And with that, I turn it back over to the music ministry to inspire us even more.
I am the heart blessing to the world.
Thank you for that great music. All right, it's time for our offering. Will the ushers please come forward? All right, so please join me in reading the 50-day prosperity prayer. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever, manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to new experiences, to happier events, to a more complete self-expression. Everything that belongs to spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success, and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. If you would like to donate to the Center for Spiritual Living, please go to www.cslvisalia.org and click on donate. There should be instructions there, or you can mail us a check. By the way, we do have overhead costs, electricity, air conditioning. It's not about putting money in someone's pocket, it's about being able to share this space with everybody. All right. Once you've given your gift, please come forward and join us in the peace circle for our final song.
Thank you, Steve. As we come together in our prayer circle today, I have a special prayer request. Now, one of the reasons you may be asking the question, why am I being so forthright about what is ours to do in a time like this? But I want you to know that this is happening in our own backyard. In Fresno, California, there is a group of folks that would be wearing red hats and feeling that they have a right to say what is being said in the marketplace, found at an auction a PG&E truck that was for sale. So they acquired the PG&E truck, and there was a minister in Fresno by the name of Reverend Lily Dale Reed, who was the minister over the Unity International Congregation in Fresno. And her partner, Barry, is an adjunct faculty at Fresno State University. And when the recent conflicts came up, about things in the news that was happening both with the Department of Justice and with some of the investigations that came out, this adjunct faculty professor was asked what she thought. She shared something very similar to what I said this morning. We must trust and verify. We must always seek the truth. And we should not believe conspiracy theories until they're fully vetted out. She was fired from her job as an adjunct faculty member from Fresno State University. And at 3:30 in the morning, this PG&E truck pulled up in front of their home in Fresno, California, and 20 people attacked the house, tagged their home, did what is known as docked them, which meant put all of their personal information, bank account numbers, passwords, emails, addresses on the internet. And suddenly at 3:30 in the morning, there was a torch spotlight lit from every window of their house with somebody from the outside looking into their house. They called the police came, and the report from the police was, oh yes, I talked to the gentleman from PG&E. They claimed that they just got the wrong address, so there's really nothing going on here. That's what we're praying for today. We're praying for the highest and best of all people. We're praying for the highest and best, that we see one another, we accept the diversity of opinion, but we do so with empathy, we do so with understanding, and this desire to seek first and to understand, and then have good conversation about it. None of us, there is no one on this planet called, divinely or otherwise, to put in the correction. We are called to understand. And so we know, and what we believe, that we are grateful for the gifts that we have been given that have brought us here today. But simultaneously, we know that we must be the mouthpiece. We must be the one standing on the bully pulpit saying, it is possible to create a peaceful world. It is possible that it can be done. We can create a world that works for all if we're willing. And we know that we have to do so by going within, because peace begins with me. Join us in singing our benediction.